The moves that the Denver Nuggets have made in this offseason have me convinced that the plus 700 odds for them to win the 2026 championship are far too low. And I understand the Thunder being the favorites overall. I'm not arguing that. Now, Thunder and Bucks fans, don't get too mad at me, but I do think Jokic is still the best player in the world. And when he has good enough pieces around him in his prime, he is going to be competing for a championship at better than plus 700 odds. Michael Porter seemed to already be on his way out the door last year, and the fact that they replaced him with Cam Johnson with similar shooting numbers, yes, he's worse on the glass, but he's able to take a little bit of that facilitation load away from Jokic. I think that was the perfect signing for them in the offseason. Then one of the pickups that went pretty unnoticed is Bruce Brown. There are specific pieces that end up fitting with these all-time great players, and Bruce Brown and Nikola Jokic just seem to fit together because Bruce Brown is a utility guy that knows how to shoot into spaces, cut, he can hit at a high enough percentage from outside, and then most importantly to me is he can take some of that ball handling duty off of Jamal Murray. That was one of the biggest problems that the Nuggets had in that Thunder series, is that Jamal Murray was forced to do so much that he couldn't carry the offensive load and scoring that he needs to. And with that Oklahoma City defense just pestering him the whole time, it made it really tough for him. What ended up happening is Aaron Gordon started playing point forward. I do think that led to some of those hamstring problems that he had later in the series because he had to carry so much of the usage load and the ball handling duties. If you watch the Nuggets tip for game 7, they actually just hand the ball to Aaron Gordon to start initiating offense. Now, one of the least spoken about pieces with the Nuggets is that they hired Adelman, and I love the way that guy coached the Nuggets. He caught some flack early on in some of those series for taking a back seat and letting Nikola or other players run their huddles. I do think when you have that great of a player, there's nothing wrong at the highest level with some of these player-led huddles, and I don't know why he was getting flack for that because I think it worked beautifully for the Nuggets. Not only that, but strategically, he went toe-to-toe with Lou and Dagnall throughout the Clipper and Thunder series. Now, hindsight's 2020, and I do think the Thunder are deserving champions. The Nuggets were able to keep it really close. Now that they added Cam Johnson, Tim Hardaway Jr., who I haven't even mentioned, who had some nice performances for the Pistons last year in the playoffs, and is capable of coming off the bench and hitting shots, but also adding Valanciunas. And really all you need out of Valanciunas is probably 6 to 10 good minutes in the playoffs, because you know Jokic is going to be playing about 40 of those. Christian Brown really emerged as an elite guard defender, did a phenomenal job on James Harden throughout that Clippers series. You also had a little bit of a heater from Julian Strawther in that game 6 against the Thunder. He's going to be a year better as well. And then Peyton Watson is super athletic and a good defender, so if he has some of that offensive skill set come around, that'll be another weapon for them. Then you got an X factor if Holmes can kind of recover from that ACL injury and maybe do what the Nuggets were hoping he would be able to do in that rookie season. So I think the Nuggets are beautifully positioned to make another run at the title. They still have that Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic core still intact with a lot better pieces around them. I think that plus 700 is too low because they are going to be tough to beat in the West with this squad.